Welcome to Research Business Daily Report, where serious market researchers come for news, insights, and commentary about the research field that is impacting them inside and outside their company. Today we've got something I think that is quite different for you. It's an interview with Decision Analyst President Jerry Thomas about what he sees as the reality that hype about technology in business impact has surpassed its tangible benefits, including in the research arena, and he'll give us some classic examples. RBDR is sponsored today and this week by Q-Oasis, a self-service marketing research solution designed specifically for market research professionals. The only platform that delivers industrial strength, easy to use, unrestricted survey building blocks. And they're all available for free, powered by the 22-year industry expertise of Socratic Technologies. Q-Oasis happens to have no limitations on the number of questions you can ask or the number of respondents you can pursue. And it can also link you to hundreds of online panel providers who can help you target your audience. You can gamify your questions, and you will also have access to consulting and analytics services. And Q-Oasis is getting better with each new iteration, including one that just rolled out last week, and we'll tell you about it later at the end of today's report. The use of the internet in research, we all remember, unleashed a technological revolution that at first was disputed, but now it has continued fast apace and well into the 21st century. In fact, it's continuing to mushroom, I think, at an accelerating pace. Recently, Decision Analyst President Jerry Thomas approached me with his premise that if you look at the big picture, Thomas believes that technology has not been the game changer in the business world that we've all been led to believe. And I asked him to speak to me on camera and share that thought, but also to tie it into research.
If you think about over the last decade, the last 15 years even, there's a tremendous emphasis on innovation, and especially in technology areas. I mean, think of all the entrepreneurial programs at business schools, all of the huge emphasis on innovation in corporations. So this overemphasis on innovation, and very often this is innovation in areas that don't really have huge effects for the economy. You know, creating new and more glamorous entertainment, such as Facebook, or getting people communicated, linked up and hooked together. There's not much of a multiplier effect for many of these technology investments. So I think it's not purely by accident that this massive investment in entertainment and technology and innovation has also accompanied very, very slow economic growth in the U.S. Maybe we're investing too much money in disruptive technology and innovation. But it's like anything else, you know, too much investment in any area is counter-efficient. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think it's so critical to the future U.S. economy that we have more corporate investment, because that tends to be the most intelligently guided and the most knowledge-based kinds of investments.
Mm-hmm. Can you focus specifically in the market research sphere as far as where there's maybe too much technology being counted on to build? Because obviously the size of the industry has mushroomed with the advent of the internet as a research tool.
Well, for example, you see this massive investment in survey platforms as an example, and there must be 50 or 100. SurveyMonkey, of course, is the poster child for overinvestment. So they've built one more survey platform. It's not an especially good one. They've raised over $1 billion of investment money, and I really question that the U.S. economy needs $1 billion invested in another survey platform. But you see that same kind of duplication and replication in industry after industry because of all of the cheap money flowing from the Federal Reserve through the banking system to Wall Street and then back into the technology firms and to the innovation and the disruption.
Okay. Any other area in research where you can pinpoint a situation comparable to that?
There's been a lot of investment in the neuroscience area, and I do believe that eventually neuroscience is going to produce a lot of learning if we can figure out what the squiggly lines mean. And this is not new technology. The industry back in the 1970s went through a big neuroscience, biological, physiological measurement system, phase, and it lasted about 3 or 4 years and then completely died. And it's now been, almost 50 years before it's come back.
And we saw in the late 90s, a bunch of, I'll call them crackpot neuroscientists who were telling us that they were and could deal with advertising agencies and determine those ads that work the best and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and of course that's massive overstatement of what's possible. And the challenge I always give is I say, okay, take your neuroscience and you evaluate a commercial, but you can only use neuroscience. And let's take another commercial over here and we can talk to people and get their reactions to the commercial. And let's see which one is better at predicting the value or interpreting the value of the advertising. And I guarantee you the talking and self-reporting is going to give us more accurate information. Now, if we combine the two, we might have richer data because we need to think of the neuroscience at this point as primarily diagnostic. It's not a predictive tool. It's more diagnostic in our estimation and our interpretation.
Our thanks to Jerry. If you would like to exchange thoughts with Jerry Thomas, email jthomas@decisionanalysts.com. That's your Research Business Daily Report. We've been sponsored by Q-Oasis, a self-service marketing research solution designed specifically for market research professionals. It happens to be the only platform that can deliver industrial-strength, easy-to-use, unrestricted survey building blocks and at no cost to its users. And it's powered by the 22-year industry expertise of Socratic Technologies. Q-Oasis's giant advance in do-it-yourself work is only getting better as it introduces its updates, including one that just rolled out back on November the 9th. Q-Oasis has no question or respondent number limits, and it can also link you to hundreds of online panel providers who will help you precisely target your audience. It can gamify your survey if you'd like, and you can also receive consulting and analytic services if you please. Socratic Technologies calls Q-Oasis where marketing research gets a vacation. And Q-Oasis is so new and positively different than any DIY service you've ever used. Its developers are still looking for users' input. So now is a really good time to visit the Q-Oasis homepage at q-oasis.com. We hope you have a great research day, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow.